listening to Second Wind with Joyce Buford, where women who are ready to expand their life adventure discover the tools to stop playing small and tap into the courage required to enjoy their second wind. Welcome.
Hello, welcome to Second Wind with Joyce Buford. What a thrill to know that you're out there listening and you're ready to have another fascinating guest story told today on Second Wind. I really appreciate you're here and that you depend upon some of the conversations that happen on my podcast to help you grow and become a better you. So I thank you for being here. Now, let me tell you about our guest today. I want to get right in there because she's just full of great information for you. Her name is Zoilita Grant. Now, Zoilita and I have met each other for years back, at a workshop, and I've been admiring her ever since that time that we were connected. But Zoilita has been involved in human development for over 40 years, so she kind of knows what she's talking about here. She graduated from UC Berkeley in 1971. Now, then she's worked for 35 years as a psychotherapist specializing in hypnosis. And for the last 12 years, she has been a hypnotic coach. She is always moving. She is always growing. She is always expanding how she can offer help, growth to clients. So she offers certificates as hypnosis and coaching professionals and products for them and the general public. So I'm so happy to welcome you, Zoilita, to this podcast.
I am so glad to be here with you, Joyce, and to share with your listeners some tips to help them grow.
Yes. Now, I always like to go back and kind of pick a little bit about how you made the decision to move in this direction. And I'm even going to go back to what was your motivation back in those early days when you were going to college and you focused on being a therapist?
So let's go back even a little bit further. When I was 16 years old, Joyce, I weighed 265 pounds.
Oh my God.
And I'm 5'2".
You are, yes. Oh my.
So at that point in my life, I felt that I was going to be caught in a life of obesity and all of the things that happen around that. Mm-hmm. But I lived in Berkeley, California, and my grandma and I went to the library at the university and took all of the books out on hypnosis. Mm-hmm. And my grandmother and I hypnotized me to lose 155 pounds in a year.
Wow.
That changed my life and taught me the power of the mind.
Oh, yeah.
How when you set your mind on something, you can really achieve it. Mm-hmm. Today, I weigh 125.
Now, I think that was pretty progressive of your grandmother. Actually.
Yes, my grandmother was a student of Eastern philosophy. She even taught me to read tarot cards when I was 11 years old.
Oh, very good. Very good. Another secret I didn't know about, Zoilita. Now, we did meet at a workshop, and from then I've been very fortunate to grow with you, to work with your hypnotistic work, and see the real benefit that it has given to me in my growth. So the topic that you really wanted to talk about was the mindset for success. And I think women particularly have a struggle sometimes getting to their success. So what is it that is the big block or slows us down?
So a mindset is like a channel. Let's imagine that your mind is like a cable TV. Mm-hmm. So each different channel that you turn on allows you to have certain kinds of outcomes. Mm-hmm. You cannot get the same programming on Fox News as you can on PBS.
Right.
Okay, you cannot get success unless you have the right mindset.
Right.
And one of the things that I have devoted my life to, since I learned the power of the mind to change my life as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
is helping people use the power of their mind to change their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you do this, you gave them a name to it, mindset for success, right? That's your
Slogan, my
slogan.
website, my Facebook group.
Yeah. So you have 5 keys to the mindset. What are those 5 keys?
Okay, so the first key is you have to realize that you do create your reality. Of course, people have been saying this for years, but what does it really mean? Well,
Mhm.
you create your reality by 2 things: what you believe reality is,
Mm-hmm.
and your habits of living.
Mhm.
And each of those things are really affected by your mind.
Mm-hmm.
The second key is you have to get a picture of what you want.
Ah.
This is the power of intention.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Wayne Dyer's work is all about, is set an intention
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to be able to achieve it. Napoleon Hill talks about a definite purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Covey talks about having the end result in mind.
Mm.
If you
Yeah.
don't have a clear intention, you can't really get to what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The third key is take the blocks out of the way. And that's what I use hypnosis for, because most blocks are in the subconscious mind.
Mm.
Always important to remember your subconscious is 85% of your mind.
Wow.
So if you don't change the subconscious always wins over the conscious mind.
Mm. Okay, I have a question. If
Yes.
I think, okay, so I could say, yes, I want to be a success. And we can think we're putting that in our mind because we've said it and we've said it numerous times. I want to be a success. What is it that we're not becoming aware of that doesn't make our want be our reality?
For women, it's primarily about self-esteem.
Okay.
Sad to say, most women in America don't think they are enough.
Right.
They don't think they're good enough, pretty enough, smart enough, deserving enough, not enough.
And what in our environment gives us that feeling? We don't, please don't tell us we come in like that.
I don't think we do.
Isn't it our environment?
It's
Or
our
mommy
environment.
and daddy or whatever?
It's our environment and the public school a lot. Like, for instance, girls and boys seem to have the same kind of progress up until about the 5th grade. And then girls definitely drop behind in science and math.
Yes.
And a lot of that is because they are not culturally supported to excel in that area.
But I think that's changing, isn't it?
It is. It is.
I see many more, and I'm so impressed with our young women when they go into professions that used to be held by a male.
Yes,
and
you're
now
so
they're
right.
they're at least reaching out to these others. And I want to just say how happy I am that they're out there doing that, because it really didn't happen in my life when I was younger.
Absolutely. I think also in homes, sometimes the male figures are seen to be more important than the female figures. So when a little girl sees that her father is kind of like the king of the household, and her father and brother might watch TV while she and her mother cook food and set the table, that gives her unconscious messages that she's less than.
Right. Yeah. And would examples of where, let's say it's a father and a son, and the father likes to go shoot. So, I'm from Texas, so we're always shooting birds or something. And so but he only takes the son shooting, not the daughter. Is that the type of thing that sends a message that the brother's more important because he's a man?
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, all right. Now you finished with it. Did you do
number 3? Number 3 is like getting those blocks out of the way.
Right.
Number 4 is you got to come up with a plan.
Oh, yeah.
A plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like a dream is just a dream.
Mm-hmm.
But when you write it down, it becomes an intention.
Mm-hmm.
When you create goals with action steps, it becomes a plan.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I really go with Henry Ford, who said, fail to plan, plan to fail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last step, which also involves your mind, is you have to reprogram yourself for success.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the hypnosis
That's where the hypnosis comes in, because most people have negative self-talk. Right.
Yeah.
And your self-talk is like your inner manager.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. When your inner manager is saying, oh, Joyce, you're never going to be able to do that, or, you won't be able to succeed, then you believe it from inside of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you believe we come with negative self-talk, or is that developed?
It's developed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I read a study once that said the average 2-year-old in the state of Iowa hears the word no over 1,000 times a day.
Oh my word. That's not good. That's not good. I know that. Yeah, I've been with parents that instead of saying no, they redirect them with a positive. Instead of saying, no, don't touch those dishes, let's go play over here and see what this is. And unfortunately, I don't think I was that type of mother because I was programmed. Right. And I heard no a lot. But I think that's all also generational. I think our parents now are trying new things.
I think so. And I think that you will be an amazing grandmother.
Oh, good.
That you will have learned how to redirect and be a positive influence for your grandchildren.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Now, how do women get and keep the mindset for success? How do you develop, like, if you've never done this, do you work with a coach, or would one be able just to sit down and do the 5 steps?
I think that it's always good to have coaches and mentors. Mm-hmm. And, since coaching is different than psychotherapy in the sense that coaching is an equal relationship, people can coach their friends.
Yes.
Having a buddy coach to help you define what are your goals. Goals are really important, because if you don't have goals, you can't really tell that you're getting any place in life.
Yeah, right.
And you kind of feel like you're treading water or your wheels are spinning.
Well, I think just talking to a friend really keeps you pushing forward in a more aggressive way. And it's a good checker. If you've got a good coach or a good friend, that they can really call you on your stuff when you're not getting it done.
Or even, and this is a little bit redirected to more of a positive orientation, they can help you to remember what your goals are and why it's important for you to make action steps.
Right. What drew you so much to this particular thing, the mindset for success?
Well, I had that experience of success with my mind as a teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a life-changing experience
Mm-hmm.
because I felt very much like worthless because of my body image. I
Yeah.
felt like my life was going to be a disaster. I had female relatives that had obesity issues and had diabetes.
Oh, yes.
And in that generation, diabetes was always treated with injections.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I saw that growing up, and I thought that was my life.
Mm-hmm.
But when I changed my mind and changed my life and moved into success, I wanted to give that to everyone else in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can see where that would almost be a not so much a dream, but a passion
A
that you
passion,
had.
yeah, passion to help the world save itself, one person at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And, while I was a psychotherapist, I loved psychotherapy and I really was very committed to it.
Mm-hmm.
But over the course of time, I felt like it wasn't the right model for me. I wanted something more empowering
Uh-huh.
to work with people.
Mm-hmm.
When people have therapists, even though they love their therapist, they feel just a little bit of shame and embarrassment that they're going to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a coach, it's kind of like you've joined the Hollywood elites, you've joined the Olympic gold medal winners, you've joined the Super Bowl winners.
Mm-hmm.
Having a coach is uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
And so my whole goal to be involved in people's life is to help them feel more uplifted
Mm-hmm.
and become the best version of who they can be.
Right. Now, do you offer the Mindset for Success through a program or through coaching? What is it? How do you?
So I do
offer it?
two things. I train people to do what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I call them success coaches.
Mm-hmm.
They have tools and techniques of coaching and power and punch of hypnosis. So I train people. I also very much enjoy one-to-one experiences. I know a lot of people say that after you've been practicing for a few years that they don't really enjoy that anymore. I love it. I feel a passion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look forward to seeing my clients every single week.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I do is I meditate on each client every
Mm-hmm.
week, and I feel like I get divine inspiration about how to help that person move to their next level, to have that mindset for success.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's tremendously rewarding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also have lots of products, and my products are like our MP3s that are downloadable. I created this new technology called a neural meditation.
Mm-hmm.
A neural meditation is an open-eyed process where you're listening to a creative visualization journey at the same time you're watching visual images.
Oh, okay.
And this creates very rapid transformation in the brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In fact, I can give all of your listeners half price on my downloadable products if they just enter the code Zoilita, all in small letters, when they check out.
And how do you spell Zoilita?
Zoilita.
Okay. Zoilita. Well, I'm excited about this because I like a method. I like knowing a method that has proved itself. And then that when it's proved itself, then it's up to me if I don't quite get there fast enough. And of course, working with you is always a extra bonus, let's say. So it makes it really great to work with you.
When I think of working with clients, I think about partnering for their success and helping them fast track their success.
Yeah. What is the biggest challenge that, I mean, you've had years of working with clients, but is there something that stands out about working with somebody? Is there a point where they get they need more encouragement, or is there anything like that you notice as a coach?
I think that the number one thing, and to just circle down back to this concept of self-esteem, the number one thing that is really stopping people from being everything they're capable of being is that many people don't believe that. They don't believe that they are really a worthwhile contributor to the world, that they have a unique place in the world that is valuable and important. And so I find that many times people will be making a lot of great growth decisions, but then they'll hit that wall of, do I really deserve to be able to have this level of success?
Yeah, I what came to mind as you were saying that, I would also almost have the question, can I really have this?
Right.
Question that you would ask yourself.
Yeah.
As the doors start to open.
Yeah.
They've had that self-doubt come sneak in.
Yeah. I've been working with this woman, a very, very lovely woman about your age. And she and her husband worked really hard through their life, and now they have a lot of financial abundance. And she has had a weight issue, but now she's releasing weight. She's released about 25 pounds and has about 15 more to go.
Yeah.
And she was telling me that all of a sudden she's like, do I really deserve this? Do I deserve this wonderful life? Do I deserve to feel fit and healthy? And that was like an old ghost from the past.
Definitely. How long does it take to get those out? Those old thoughts.
I would say that I had pretty horrible self-esteem because I was obese. And when I was younger, unfortunately, I had a lot of child abuse happen. So I had very bad self-esteem. I don't think I have any self-esteem issues today. I have an awareness of my own strengths and weaknesses. I think I have scattered skill sets. I think I can do amazing work with people. I cannot park on one try with my car.
Yeah. Oh.
I always have to back up and repark and repark.
Well, we can't be good in everything, right?
That's how I feel. Like I can't be good at everything, but I feel like I can genuinely accept and like myself as a person. And I feel like I felt that way for probably about 20 years. So we don't have to work on it our whole life, but something as critical as self-esteem has to be a continuous process for a lot of years.
Right. I know you're very intuitive, and how long have you known that you were intuitive and used it?
When I was a little girl, I could see angels.
Oh, I like that.
I tried to introduce angels to other children.
Well, that wouldn't go over too good.
That did not go over too well.
No.
So for a lot of years, I felt like I had to keep it a secret. And part of this was reinforced by my wonderful grandmother, because my grandmother was like women in our family have special gifts, but you have to be very, very careful of who you let know.
Oh.
And one of your great-great-grandmothers almost got stoned in Scotland for telling people's fortunes in the well.
Oh, no. Was she a Campbell?
No, she was a McLeod.
Oh, a McLeod. Oh, yes. I should have remembered that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, the McLeods.
The
I do think,
McLeods.
yes, I love all those Scottish names. You know, they're just great names. But anyway, so right now, working with the prosperity, helping people with the prosperity, is that all part of the mindset for success?
I think so, because when I think about being totally prosperous,
Mhm.
I think it's about the whole wheel of life,
Okay.
like your relationships and your emotions and your mind and your finances and your elements around your career or your occupation to
Mhm.
feel prosperous.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
don't have to have that be a certain number in your bank account,
right.
but I do think financial security is an important thing.
Mhm.
But you can feel wealthy in life.
Mhm.
You can feel wealthy in your relationships. And that's part of a success mindset.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I just took a trip and I loved being there, and the ability to go and take that trip involved my freedom in being able to reach out, to explore, and then the willingness to take action and actually make it happen. So I felt abundant in that I could make those decisions.
Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely. And you know, one thing for women, our coming into the ability to manage our own finances has really been a recent occurrence.
Mhm.
You know, I can remember a time when women were not allowed to have mortgages without their husbands or a male signing on them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
women could not have credit cards up until, you know, I think the late 60s, early 70s.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been very interesting, and I love being part of this group. As usual, I know you know that, Zolita, but I really want the audience to hear how it has benefited me in my growth as well.
Thank you, dear.
So, yes, I so admire the work that you're doing and the success that you have with your clients. Now, you know, we're coming close to the end of our time together, but I have this year added the meaning of joy that I like to discuss with my interviewees at the end so they can give the insight that they've learned through the word of joy, what joy really is. So, were you willing to do this with me?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'd like for you to tell me a story when you felt pure joy.
I feel pure joy when I am around my grandchildren.
Ah,
I have been very, very lucky in the fact that I have had close relationships with all of my grandchildren.
mhm.
And I have two sets. I have a granddaughter that's 23 and a grandson that's 19.
Oh
And then
dear.
I have two granddaughters that are 5 years old.
Yeah, you have both spectrums then, don't you? Yeah,
Yes,
fun.
yes.
Yeah.
And I was blessed to be able to go to Egypt
Mhm.
in the fall with my daughter and her husband and their 5-year-old child, Lila.
Mhm. Mhm.
And Lila at the pyramids
Yes.
was amazing. Lila was so enamored with looking at the pyramids and
Mhm.
floating down the Nile and going to the temples. I felt absolute joy in seeing this child filled with wonderment and excitement and the newness of life.
Mhm.
And I feel for each of us, keeping that child in our heart,
Mhm.
our own child in our heart, our inner child, and
Mhm.
allowing ourselves to play brings joy into ourselves and into the world.
Yes. Great answer. Great answer. I'd like for you to share 3 tips to create more joy in one's life?
Tip number 1, give up all negative self-talk. Only talk to yourself like you would talk to your very best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Tip number 2, allow yourself to really play, to enjoy the wonderment of newness.
Mm-hmm.
And tip number 3, make self-care a life priority.
When you say self-care, what are you thinking of?
So for me, self-care is taking a bubble bath by candlelight,
Mm-hmm.
or getting a massage, or taking time in the springtime to just sit in my garden and just enjoy that experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Self-care has also become for me Pilates. I've been doing a lot of Pilates since Thanksgiving, and I'm now scheduling my clients around my Pilates.
Well, that's self-care for sure.
Yes.
Good. I like to, I'm just going to share this. I learned about the power of the energy from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So many of us never walk on the earth anymore. We don't get that energy from the earth.
Yeah.
And how important it is for our bodies,
yes,
our mindset to have that energy.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So I really, I think about that a lot, because you can even buy sandals that have these little strips in there that would help you get more of the energy. But I learned that through another man. I'm sorry I didn't bring this up, but we'll talk further about this. But you can actually connect yourself by wire to a patch over your foot and receive the necessary energy for pain to go away, for just to balance your body. It's amazing what we can do and what's out there for us.
Yes, and remember, realizing we create our reality, that means we get to choose what we want in our reality.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, all right, Zoilita, I'm going to say that it's now time for us to part. But I've thoroughly enjoyed getting more familiar with your success, mindset for success, and the importance of rehearing those 5 important steps.
Thank you so much for having me, Joyce.
Yes. Now, where can they go? And your website is mindset-for-success.org. And then where else would you like for them to go?
So I have a wonderful Facebook group called the Mindset for Success Community.
Okay.
That has nothing but positive information.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's a good growth place.
And do you have to be accepted for membership into that group?
You just apply and then I approve.
You're so nice. So that is facebook.com/groups. Is that all it needs?
Yeah.
You get there? Yeah. Okay. And of course, you're on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube as well. So anyway, thank you very much, Zoilita, for being on Second Wind, because that's what we're here about, the second wind, getting our second wind. So thank you for being here. Now, listeners out there, I'd love for you to take this information and share it. It's very important that when you do hear something that is beneficial to you, it's usually beneficial to a friend that is close to you, or a friend that's struggling with life. So I really do encourage you, share this information with somebody out there that needs a helping hand, and you are the one that can make it happen today. So thank you for being here, and I appreciate very much and look forward to our next conversation. So thank you. Have a great week. Bye now.
Joyce Buford returns next week at the same time for another edition of Second Wind. Through the Joyce Buford Empowerment System, women are receiving the support they need through their transitions and are able to reclaim their true purpose with confidence. They receive the tools they need to map out new lives. You can find out more about her coaching services at joycebufordempowers.com.